Go for the pin. Go for the pin.
Go for the pin wrestling review show. Mikey Q and King V.
Go for the pin.
Have a nice day every day and
Go for the pin.
Go for the pin.
Weekly wrestling review show. Keep killing it.
Welcome everybody to Go for the Pin, episode 71, with your boys Mikey Q and
King V, aka Michelle McCool Runnings, and we are here to unfortunately talk about the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, we are here to talk about the Rumble, and all of the happenings surrounding it. Well, I guess we should probably get into it. We may have a guest coming on. Okay, John is in the building. What's going on? Everybody support DJ Knuckles.
The debauchery. That's what it is. The foolery.
Yeah. Okay.
We've been had run amok.
Let us stray even.
Let us stray.
Well, we're gonna get into all of that. But overall, how did you feel about the Royal Rumble pay-per-view? Before we get into the specifics. Okay.
Oh, that shit was horrible. All right.
Okay.
We'll go into detail. Bamboozled. Thank you. That was the word that I was looking for, Jonathan. I appreciate it.
Bamboozled. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. He's definitely bamboozled.
Jesus.
Man. They straight up lied to us. But let's get right into it here. Hoodwinked even. Forgot about that one. Hoodwinked. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's get into it. If you're joining us, first of all, on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all of that. How you doing? If this is the first time hearing us or watching us, thank you. Thank you for the support.
Hey.
And
Happy Black History Month.
Happy Black History Month. Yes, first and foremost, happy Black History Month.
All my niggas in the whole wide world, except for Brandy Rhodes and Booker T. All my niggas.
So you didn't like her A1 promo that she did this past
week? I tapped out of that bullshit. Anyway.
Did you? Okay. We'll get there. we'll get there. No. Yeah, we will. We will. Yes.
I feel like as a Negro, I shouldn't.
It's Black History Month. Brandy is black.
Yeah, she is.
Okay, let's not do that.
Nobody's denying that.
Oh, then you ain't see online.
Nobody's denying that, but not all skin folk. But that's another story for another day. Back to the Royal Rumble.
Yes, back to the Royal Rumble.
All right. TV. Woo!
Oh, no man. Okay, well, Jonathan said for the Brandy Rhodes slander. I'm indifferent most times about the Brandy Rhodes slander. I don't know if she gets it. I don't know if she deserves all of it, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not sure, but it's not for me to decide. But anyway, let's keep going here. Royal Rumble happened this past Saturday. First of all, this Saturday stuff, and I know AEW was doing it first. They was experimenting with Saturdays, and now WWE is doing Saturday. How do you feel about pay-per-views on a Saturday night?
You know what? I might be in the minority here, but I might be in the minority here, but I don't mind. I don't mind Saturday pay-per-view. I think coming from a travel standpoint, let's say if we were to go to Money in the Bank. Well, I'm just throwing pay-per-view out there, and it's on a Saturday.
Yeah.
You don't really have to rush back on Sunday or take a day off Monday unless you're planning to go to that. Well, after I think it's a little more convenient.
Okay.
Convenient in the sense of people actually attending the pay-per-view. As for actually watching it,
yeah.
Usually on Saturdays I am inspired and sleep. And But Sundays make it a little bit harder because if you want to be inspired, and I'm pretty sure y'all know what I mean by inspired.
Yeah.
But if you want to be inspired
Yeah.
while watching the pay-per-view, you won't be late to work Monday morning. So
Right.
I don't know. I'm still getting used to it. I'll see maybe a year from now how I feel about Saturday pay-per-views.
So Jonathan brings up a good point. He says it's a good fit for AEW because they only have like 4 pay-per-views a year. WWE, on the other hand, needs Sundays. I think traditionally WWE has made Sunday their pay-per-view day. Like for decades now. It's been Sunday. Since before we were born, really, it's been Sundays. Like, yes, I know they've had specials on a Saturday night's main event, and other things of that nature. But for the most part, it's been on Sunday. I think it's a good fit for WWE to be on Sundays. But to V's point, yes, you can get more people in the building on a Saturday night. It makes it feel more like an event you want, like the cool thing to do on a Saturday night. Oh, let's there's wrestling in town. Let's go to wrestling on a Saturday versus a Sunday where you do have to worry about waking up in the morning. If we're talking about WWE, let's be honest, it's primarily children that attend these events or want to attend these events, I should say. They have school in the morning for the most part. So it does make it easier for them to sleep in on Sunday and then be refreshed for Monday versus being tired, because even you see it on Monday Night Raw. You see it on, not so much AEW because it's an adult crowd, but you see it on Monday Night Raw a lot and I can attest to this by being in the building. By 10 o'clock, a lot of the children are leaving. The parents are taking them out because they got to be at school the next morning. So they're missing the whole third hour of Raw. Lucky for them. But they're missing the whole third hour of Raw. And they're not even getting, basically their money's worth. WWE tickets are expensive. So, say what you want about the product, but those tickets are not cheap. Especially if you have like relatively good seats, they're not cheap. So I do think that it has its benefits to running on a Saturday night, but I think traditionally people are conditioned to, Sunday pay-per-view. Like this week messed up my whole thinking because day one was on a Saturday, and then now I know WrestleMania is 2 nights. It's going to be Saturday, Sunday, and now it looks like they're going to be running Saturdays. So Jonathan says easy fix, go back to 2 hours. They're not going to do that. They have too many advertisers and sponsors that pay them a lot of money to run that third hour of Monday Night Raw. I agree with you. I think it should be 2 hours, but even if you do it on 2 hours, remember it was 9/11. Kids still had school the next morning. It's not like if they ran at 8 to 10, maybe, you know what I'm saying? But 9/11 is still, but that's always been Monday Night Raw's spot. Even when it was 2 hours, it was 9 to 11:05, really. For those that remember they used to have an overrun. Seems so long ago. But so I think that running on a Saturday does have its benefits. But for people like me and like V and I'm sure some of the people that's watching and listening, and I hate to put it this way, but I don't want to be home on a Saturday night watching professional wrestling.
I'm gonna be honest with you. You know what? You're absolutely right. And as long as I've been a wrestling fan, I've been like, oof, we're not gonna do that because I'm gonna be old next month. But as long as I've been a wrestling fan, even back then, cool. I watch my wrestling on my Wednesdays and Thursdays. Remember, it was on UPN.
Of course.
Me as an adult, who still loves wrestling in general, I would not want to be at a pay-per-view on a Saturday night. I would rather do other things.
My boy D's in the building. Give me 1 second. Dejan says, I'd rather the Saturday night pay-per-view than Sunday. I got work Monday morning. That's fair. I definitely understand that. I definitely understand that. Yeah. And Jonathan also said that Nitro did 8 to 10 and was very successful, with 83 weeks.
I mean, yeah. But, I think a lot of us, especially now in this type of, not to be that person, but the society that we live in, most people are not going to be sitting Saturday night watching wrestling. People are going to be out drinking or smoking.
Yeah, doing something else.
Doing something else. Wrestling. Hey.
Yeah,
But
Ray, we see you. Don't worry.
It's just a change. I don't mind it because everybody's like, well, everybody should be inside, but for the fact that where we're at right now, I'm not doing anything on Saturday.
Yeah.
Currently, I don't club.
Yeah.
So I don't club. So it's like really, if I'm at like a friend's house or with redacted, we're probably watching wrestling anyway. But
yeah,
I don't want to like make that a Saturday thing.
Yeah.
Like for me, wrestling is not a Saturday thing.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm just not used to it. And this will wrap this up. But just like Jonathan said, what? Oh, you want to read the comment?
Oh yeah, the only way I'm going to Saturday pay-per-view is if the talent will be at the club. I'm still not doing that.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say,
now,
Jonathan.
Now I feel like I'm sorry, Mike. Now I feel like the old man yelling at the clouds. Back in my day, we had Sunday pay-per-views.
We're old now, guys. We're old. I'm sorry, but no, I was gonna wrap it up by saying that Jonathan was right in the sense of it is hard because like what you said, V, most people do other things on Saturday, right? So it is difficult, to run on a Saturday sometimes. But I think that for a live aspect and having people in the audience, it is better because you get more people that don't have to work on Sunday. Because generally speaking, most people don't work on Sundays. I do, but most people don't work on Sundays. So, okay, let's get into the Royal Rumble talk. But first, we do have a guest.
Yes.
We do have a guest in the building. Let's bring him on here.
Hey guys,
Raw is in the building. What's up, Ray?
Hey. What's up? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear
you.
Okay, because I'm using this XLR cable that is like very old, and I don't know. I didn't even know if it was gonna work out for us.
No, it's working. It's definitely working.
Cool.
How you been?
I've been good, man. Thanks for having me on the show tonight. I really was actually just sitting around, just like doing nothing for first.
Yeah, no. Well, I'm glad that you were able to be on the show. We've been trying to get you back on for a while, so
I appreciate it.
We got John on a couple of weeks ago, but definitely. I think it was last week. In my mind.
I think I remember. Yeah.
So and Steve Pena. Shout out to Steve Pena.
Yes, thank you again.
Thank you again. Hot on the indie scene right now. So everybody go support Steve, support Battle Club, support everybody up there.
Yes.
Yeah, my little sister is actually a fan of Steve Pena, so she was really excited when she found out.
Oh, really?
That she found out that he was on the show. So shout out to my little sister.
Oh yeah. Shout out to your sis. All right. So Jonathan says WWE had a house show here in Savannah years ago, and I met John Cena at a Denny's. Back in the day, you could find the talent hanging out in the city after the shows. They still do. Especially here in New York, they still do. Like, I know probably in LA as well. Like some of the bigger cities, you can definitely like see them around. Okay. D says Royal Fumble. Yep.
Which is the name of today's episode.
Yep.
What up, John? What up, bro?
All right, let's get into the Royal Rumble, guys.
I just wanted to throw in. I think the last time. Well, this is not the last time because it was actually a few years ago. But I remember when the WWE came to LA. I saw JR at the Ritz-Carlton downtown. So it's like, yeah, they pretty much do hang out around the city.
Yeah, shout out to JR.
Yeah, JR was cool too.
Yeah, he seems like I've actually met JR a couple of times when he's been in New York. He's really cool. And he does it, quick note about that. One guy, like every day, right? Because they was in the city for like a week. Whenever they used to do SummerSlam at Barclays, they was they used to stay at the Marriott, and JR, JR used to see this guy every day, right?
Right.
He told this story. He was like, all right, the first day he took a picture with the guy, signed his autograph. The next day, took a picture with the guy, signed his autograph. The third day, he came over and said to him, because the guy wanted another picture, and he was like, all right, I didn't seen you the last 2 days. How many more pictures do you like? He's like, just take like 5 right now, so I don't have to keep doing this, respectfully. Because it does get to the point where it's like, all right, dude, like, I gave you like 2 pictures. And, like,
you got to. You got to.
Yeah. Okay.
That is hilarious.
I want to get into the Royal Fumble, but
Royal
you had
Fumble.
some comments about that you wanted to get out about Big Swole. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So I want to hear what's going on with that, because Big Swole's our girl, so I want to hear what's going on with that.
I mean, actually, it's not just Swole, because like I'm seeing now that Lio Rush is like he's leaving AEW as well, and it's
yeah. Big surprise.
Right.
Yeah.
But I feel like one of my biggest, I guess I can't say like one of my biggest issues, because it's like it's not really my issue. But it's like I'm kind of seeing a habit with black wrestlers taking their gripes with the WWE or like their initial promotion into other promotions, and then accusing the next promotion of some of the things that the last promotion did to them. And I realized that, like, for me, it was like that was my gripe with Lio Rush and Swole, where it's like more so Swole, because it's like I love Swole as a talent, but I don't feel like I don't feel like the diversity issue should be placed on AEW, because it's still a young company, and I feel like they have placed good personas and situations on black talent,
Right.
So like playing the diversity card on, or black wrestling card on AEW, I think it's just too soon. And I feel like that's like I don't think that should have been her personal issue with AEW. I think the issue that she should have with AEW is just like her initial which was like she is very talented, and I feel like Tony Khan should recognize that part about her. She is talented, but she needs you have to do stuff with Swole. Like, you can't just like leave her on dark and wait for an impressive move or a move set or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. So you think that because I know that you mentioned that like when like black talent specifically, I guess at the for the purpose of this conversation, like maybe bring their past issues into another company. You feel like she did that?
Yeah, because I mean, like when she was in WWE, her and she sided with ACH when ACH said like WWE does not know how to treat black talent. And she like as soon as ACH said that, she came in full force, and used herself as an example and sort of her husband as an example as well. So I mean, I feel because she did that, she she pretty much put herself out there as like, saying that, WWE doesn't, respect black talent. And I agree with that, but I think it's too early to determine if AEW respects or appreciates black talent.
I disagree.
I'll let you respond in a second. Jonathan says Big Swole had the same potential as Jade Cargill. And Dejan, I you might not have seen my comment, but yes, we will. I'll get to Riddle when we talk about the Rumble in a few minutes. But yes, just want to make sure I'm addressing the comments. Go ahead, B.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you why I disagree. I disagree because AEW stationed itself as an alternative,
Mhm.
right? And wrestling in general is white. Let's be real. Wrestling in general is white, and
Mhm.
you expect to see, or as AEW as a company, see what other companies are doing wrong,
Mhm.
and then make that right. One or two people doesn't make that right. Meaning, like, Nyla Rose, which everybody wants to say, oh yeah, there's Nyla Rose. Nyla Rose is champion because she checks off being not only black but indigenous as well as queer and
Mhm.
trans. So it and they just throw out random 2 or 3 people and it's like, well, Brandy Rhodes, and well, you know about that. But
Yeah.
it to me, AEW, what they're getting wrong, is the fact that they don't do the whole diversity thing, because one person does not make diversity, even if they have multiple identities. So with Swole rightfully criticizing AEW and how they roll, because all of the champions, with the exception of Nyla Rose and Sheeta, all of them have been white, and it's just for the fact that when it comes to black talent, they're always on dark.
Right.
Ironically.
Well, I can't say right to that, but a majority of
but a vast
them are.
majority
Yeah.
of them are on dark, so they don't get TV time. And you want people to have TV time, stuff like that. And could Swole have come at it a different way? No, she actually did it the most respectful way. It was for the fact that Tony Khan
blew it up. Yeah.
said what he said, blew it up, and a whole lot of AEW's racist fan base decided to attack her and continually attack her. So I disagree with that.
Well, there's one part where you said like I can agree that a majority of black talent are stuck on dark, but I also feel as though a lot of Caucasian talent is stuck on dark too, and I think it's because AEW has a WWE list of roster, and it's like they don't have enough TV time, like what I'm saying, like I know they're trying to play patty cake with time slots when it comes. Jay Lethal shouldn't be on dark at all.
Jay Lethal shouldn't. Let me shut up. Okay, I'm gonna be quiet about that.
But it's like AEW. Like I counted one day how many wrestlers AEW has, and when you look at their roster, it's like shit. You have just as many wrestlers as WWE, and you don't have as much TV time as WWE, which is I feel is like all right, you gotta start doing something here, Tony. Like start cranking out more belts, more TV time, something just to make these wrestlers at least feel appreciated and recognized. Because Brian Cage is like you've heard that his wife was like attacking Tony Khan, and then he started
Santos, right?
Yeah. And then Brian Cage said a few things, but then he became quiet again. But it's like it's not. I don't think it's just black talent that's complaining. You see Caucasian talent complaining as well.
Yeah, I mean, I can see like kind of both sides of it. You guys both make good points. Like Ray said that there are a lot of Caucasian talents on dark and elevation, just like there's a lot of black talents that's on dark and elevation. I do think it's more so of we got to figure out how to maximize the minutes that we have on television now, because like you guys both said, some people are not showcased because there just isn't enough TV time. Like I think that's what it really comes down to. There's not enough TV time. Not everybody's going to get on TV. Now, you can make an argument that some of the people that's on TV now, maybe they shouldn't be on TV. I mean, that's
right.
But that's
I can name quite a few of them that should be.
But that comes down to
Brady
personal
Rose.
opinion. You guys are gonna. This
She wasn't the
Rose-
first one.
all right.
She wasn't the first one I was gonna say.
Yeah, we need to stop picking on Brandy. But I mean,
that's what I've been saying. But that's a whole nother story. All right, some good points. When Swole emails me about these comments that you said, Ray, I will definitely direct it towards you. but
you
no,
know
I
what?
get it. I get what you're saying. You're not like coming at her. You know what I'm saying? You are kind of disagreeing with not just her, but like how certain talents are going about how they feel about their position in the company and how a company has treated them and things like that. Like, I get what you're saying. It's you know, I'm not saying that you're wrong for feeling that way, but I can also see the other side of it where it's like, well, she kind of has a point, you know. So it's like, I mean, not kind of. She does have a point. She has a legitimate point. She has a reason to be upset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My thing is, I feel as though, and this is just as a big Swole fan, like I feel like she just should have gave it more time. You know, I feel like if she gave it another year, she could have been that dream match version of what everybody's talking, kind of like quietly talking about right now with Bianca and Jade Cargill. Like everybody wants to see this dream match between the two of them. But I feel like, you know, Swole could have, you know, easily replaced, you know, that Bianca, like, you know.
Yeah, I can see it.
Well, this is, I'm.
And then we're gonna get into the role.
We're gonna get into the role after this. When you said that, you know, maybe if she waited out, the issue that I have, if you said that maybe if she waited another year, you know, she could be on that level. This goes back into another point that Swole had. Why do we always have to wait? Right? You know, just taking a look historically. You know, it was WWE. It was damn near 50 years before there was a Black Women's Champion.
Right.
You know, you had to wait. What 1992? Well, not WWE. I'm just saying WWE wise. You know, it wasn't until The Rock, who sometimes claims being black, and
black. We're not gonna do this. We're not gonna do this. We're not gonna do this.
I said
you got a point. You got a point.
We're not gonna do this.
I was like, he sometimes claims it.
God.
No, but I'm just saying, you know, we have to wait. You know, Kofi has to wait 11 years, 11, 12 years into his career to be WWE champion. You know, we had, you know, Naomi had to wait until 2015 to become women's champion. And it's like, why do we have to wait? And then when they lose the title, we have to let it play it out. And then it plays out, and then nothing comes of it.
Well, I don't think I'm sorry, guys. I know you want to move on to the next topic.
No, go ahead.
I feel like with Naomi, I mean, it was a while, but I don't feel like in hindsight, like I don't feel like she waited that long, because I remember it was 2012, was it, where her match was canceled?
At WrestleMania.
That wasn't a championship match; it was a tag team match.
Yeah, I know, but it's like to go from canceled to like being a women's champion in the span of 3 years. I don't think that's too much time.
I mean, I'm just saying in general, for the fact that when it comes to us, we always have to wait, and then when we get our time, we lose it quickly, Biggie. And they always say, "Let it play out."
I want to have a real conversation about Big E, but I'll let you continue.
No, I'm just saying, like, when stuff like this happens, the comments are always like, "Let it play out, let it play out," and then 3 months later, we move on to someone else. I was like, "Oh, what happened to letting it play out?" It never plays out. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
I get what you're saying, but it's the fact that when it comes to black talent, we always have to wait, and then when we get to that peak, we quickly fall off, and then
we do.
Like, and then it's let it play out, let it play out, let it play out. Why do we always have to let it play out?
And then it never plays out.
And it never plays out. But yeah, that was. Yeah, let's move on to the room.
Okay. No, great conversation. I dig that.
But here's and I want to just like, I don't know if you guys peeped this, but I feel like they tried to put a Band-Aid on the Bianca Becky situation last week with Bianca beating Becky in like 12 seconds. After Raw, I'm like, oh, come on, that's so cheap. Like,
I saw that. She finally got her get back, but it was in a dark match. But yeah, I saw that. We can talk a little bit more about the direction of Bianca and everything that's going on there. But let's get into this Rumble because I'm sure we'll spend some time on all of these topics. Everything that everyone's talking about, I think we'll spend some time on it. Poor Big E back with the New Day. Okay, I'll address all of that. I see everything. We'll address all of that. Okay. Royal Rumble, again, this past Saturday, it opened with Seth freaking Rollins versus Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. First off, I just want to say how they did this was really, really cool. Roman comes out there first, and then Seth with the Shield music, the Shield gear, the crowd. Right. Roman's facial expression, the selling and everything. I thought that was awesome. And they had a really good match. Ray, I'll let you start it off. What did you think about the opening contest here, Seth versus Roman Reigns, and then we'll throw it to B.
Oh man, like I was very like out of my seat, you know, like I was really hyped. I remember being on the phone with my homies and like saying, "Oh my God, he's coming out to the Shield music!" Like I think that was like opening with that was just like it was like the best opening to a Royal Rumble in my opinion. One of the best.
I'm trying to think of some other like opening contest for the Royal Rumble. It might have been. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Maybe something in the early 2000s. I feel like was there a Kurt? I feel like there was a Kurt Angle Rabbit Wolverine. I'll call him a match that happened at a Rumble that was really good. I think it was like a 4 or 5 star match, but I can't remember exactly. We'll fact check, but I think that did happen at a Rumble. I'm thinking 03. But I could be wrong about that. But other than that, that's the only opening match for a Royal Rumble that I could think that was that good. Everybody in the comments, correct me if I'm wrong about that, but I think that was an opening match, but I'm not 100%.
Yeah. You mean Seth and Roman?
No, the Chris and
okay.
Yeah, Brisk Kenwa.
Brisk Kenwa, right. Brisk Kenwa. Right. But Ray, continue with what you were saying if you have anything else to say.
Oh no, that was it. I mean, the only thing I don't know if you want to cut to the end of the match real quick. So in my opinion, the end of the match, oh my gosh, that would to me, like, you know, I think, you know, I desired a better finish, but I guess I'm okay with, you know, the way the match ended.
Okay. V?
I agree. That was the best match on the card. I also wanted a different ending. I didn't hate it. I didn't hate the ending until later. But initially when the match first started, I didn't hate the ending. I disliked it, but I didn't hate it. I hated it later in the night. But it was a great match. The Shield moment, and he did the forward roll over the barricade. I was like, okay, so he's really digging into this. That was just great psychology and stuff. The match was good back and forth. I was also at the edge of my seat, and when the finish happened, and then I was like, okay, where are we gonna go with this? But overall, I really liked the match. It was a fantastic match.
I thought it was too. Just to fact check myself here, it was the 03 Rumble, but that was not an opening match. It was actually for the WWE Championship, and it was a submission match actually. So no, sorry, it was a singles match, but Kurt won by submission. Anyway, let's keep going. Oh, I do want to say that I didn't have a problem with the finish of Rollins and Reigns. I thought that it got Reigns some heel heat. And the beat down with the chair and just how Seth fell, exactly how Roman fell when he got hit with the chair. I thought all of that was great. I thought it was great. Great job by everybody involved, and great way to start the pay-per-view.
And then
I actually kind of disagree with you. So
What?
I kind of disagree with you.
We're gonna disagree on this.
Well, he knows why I disagree, but
I know why you disagree.
But that's not the only reason. I thought the Women's Royal Rumble was actually a really good match. So we had the Women's Royal Rumble. Next here. We had some surprises. Cameron came back.
Mm-hmm.
You had Kelly. Lita was in the match. Mickie James stayed in there for a while. And was eliminated by Lita. Okay, Jonathan says hell no. Like I said, that's perfectly fine. It's preference.
I just want to go on record and say that I think maybe not last show, but the show before. I just wanted to say that I was right. That Mickie was going to come. That Mickie was coming out the hardcore country.
You did. You definitely said that, and
I'm so glad she did.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it.
You know, they look like Melina. I guess we're gonna get there. Melina was in there.
So Sasha was out first. Melina came out. It looked like
Sasha
a botch.
the Sailor Moon gift. I mean,
the Sailor Moon gear. Yes. And
I really thought that was awesome that she came.
It was. Melina did her old split entrance, which I popped huge for. It sounded like the rest of the crowd did too.
She had a couple of bounces on that.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah,
she definitely did. But then Sasha did hers, and I was like, oh my. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But very cool spot. I'm just saying, look, guys, I'm sorry. It is what it is. Very cool spot. It's okay to say that, guys. It's okay. But yeah, it's very, very cool spot there between Melina and Sasha. I think what happened is Melina slipped off the ropes, and they just kind of went with it. Yeah, but it is what it is. I mean, Melina wasn't going to win it anyway. I just thought that she should have got a little bit more.
A little bit more time. Yeah. I even feel like Sasha should have had more time. Like 7 minutes or so.
I'm looking at the time right now, actually. 9 minutes and 44 seconds. She was eliminated by Zelina. Yeah.
I knew once Sasha was out, I was like, well, this is going to be awful.
But I knew that Sasha, you know what? I knew Sasha wasn't going to win because they brought her back on SmackDown.
Right. Somebody else told me that.
And I was on this show. You guys can go back. I was screaming work. Ever since she got hurt, I was like, I was screaming work. I'm like,
The only reason why I didn't want to say it was work because not only I saw the injury, it looked bad, and then with her dad passing, I'm sitting there like, okay, maybe she's getting some time off for bereavement. That's none of my business. I hope she has, I hope she takes her time if she's not coming back on Friday.
Right.
I hope she takes her time to, collect herself and heal and, grieve and stuff like that. So the only reason I was irritated that Sasha
Jonathan, she's a queen. I'm sorry. Go ahead, continue.
The only reason why I was irritated that she got eliminated because I knew where they were going with it. But at the same time, I was like, okay, I'm annoyed that Sasha got eliminated, but at the same time, it could be for the time, take time off, to mourn her dad. So I didn't want to think too much into it. When it came to that, but once I saw Sasha get eliminated, I was like, oh, well, here we go.
Yeah. So I thought that once Sasha got eliminated, I'm like, all right. I had my doubts. Like everybody was talking about that person that we'll get to, but I'm like, I don't know.
The transphobe. And there's receipts on that. Yeah, the transphobe.
So that kind of threw me. So Kelly was out next.
Trying to say the baby isn't real.
Liv Morgan, Queens of Liv. I'm trying to get through this here. Was out, and
that's not what I was saying. I was saying that I'm saying the person that won the Women's Royal Rumble is transphobic. Not transgender, transphobic.
Oh.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, Ronda is reckless at the mouth. I ain't gonna even hold that. Like Ronda is very reckless at the mouth, but
Sandy Hook,
huh?
Yeah, she's one of those people that believes that Sandy Hook was a hoax. There's a whole entire article. Yeah. So, hey, Mike.
Hey, V.
Are we gonna get? Are we gonna get to her now? Yeah, are we gonna get to her?
Well, I wanted to talk about the fact that Michelle McCool was in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
She
you're
was
not
there.
enough for me.
Fate Breaker. Did you see it? Styles
Yeah.
Clash, Fate Breaker. Yeah.
I'm gonna put the other earphone on for this because I need to hear all of this.
All right. Okay, fine. Let's do it. Let's do it. Number 28. Ronda Rousey comes out.
The baddest transphobe on the planet.
Okay. So.
Yes, Jonathan, it was Sasha that lost her dad.
Mm-hmm. Man, so I should probably not be wearing this then. Man, wow, this really didn't age well.
No.
Okay. Wow, so I should probably take this off and get rid of it now. But I don't know if you guys can see it over the Royal Rumble predictions thing. There you go. All right. Okay, well, let's just zip this right back up.
Yep.
Ronda Rousey came out.
Unfortunately.
And eliminated everybody and won a match.
Awful. Terrible. Trash.
Didn't hate this.
Hated it.
And I'll just leave it there. Ray, what do you have to say about
it? It's one of those things where I feel like it's kind of like I won't say that she doesn't deserve it, but I think it's just too soon. Like, you know, it's just one of those things where, like, are we running the WWE or are we running, you know, a celebrity promotion, like where just celebrities come in and, you know, dominate everybody else? Like, you know, I mean, I know, like, you know, Brock and Ronda are both, you know, like they have a history of being fighters. However, like it doesn't, like, also you have a whole roster of people who, you know, threw up in performance centers, bled, went home with concussions. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you have a whole roster of people to choose or pick from, and you're just overlooking them for, you know, somebody who has a big name in entertainment.
So, all right, my thing is about that, and I will put Jonathan's comment on the screen in a second, but my thing about that is I would say he was right if Ronda wasn't a trained professional wrestler. And same thing with Brock. Like both of them are both trained professional. Well, right. We know about Brock. I know you probably was talking more so about Ronda. I wouldn't say that she's just like a celebrity appearance. Like you gotta remember when Ronda was there full time, she was working every week and she was working the house shows and all of that. Like it wasn't just like some like celebrity, you know, trying to get her name out there, whatever. She really does love this business. She just hates the fans, but she really does.
And
love
that's
the
that's my problem with it.
1 second. Speak amongst yourselves.
So just while Mike is fixing that, so my issue besides her transphobia, my issue with Ronda Rousey is the fact that, or her performance. What's for the fact that it looked like she just rolled out of bed, number one. Number two, those punches, if you were to see some of those punches she was throwing, it looked very lazy. It looked very lackadaisical. It looked very...
Maybe she wasn't trying to kill Bianca. If she would have hit her for real, she didn't probably kill her.
Sure, I guess. But it was just like her performance was very lackluster. She looked bored. I was bored. And it's kind of time to have that conversation. The fact that she's not as good as people point her out to be. Now she's a great fighter. I'll give her that. I mean, except for she got knocked out twice. But
water.
It's just the fact that all of these people that, like you were saying, right, that was fighting, bleeding, sweating in the performance center. Not saying that she not saying that she didn't train in the performance center,
right?
But for the fact is, you can tell there was supposed to be a different winner. It's like they kind of called her at the last minute. It's like, "Hey, Ronda, can you come?" And that's the problem that I have with WWE in general is that instead of building new stars, you bring back the old ones, and then the
because
old
they're
ones.
not able to build new stars. I think
not?
that's the problem.
And that's on them. That is on them. Ronda Rousey.
It might be, but if I have if at the end of the day, let's stop beating around the bush, right? It's a business, and they're trying to sell out WrestleMania, right? If I have Ronda Rousey, who if you walk down the street and you can ask 10 people if they've ever heard of Ronda Rousey, they're gonna say yes, even if they've never seen her fight or they've never even seen her wrestle. They know who
Ronda Rousey
is. Versus, I'm gonna be honest with you. As much as we love Bianca, we love Naomi, we love all of these talented people. I don't know if you ask 10 people, if all of those 10 people are gonna know who these individuals are. And I think when it comes down to like a WrestleMania, when you're trying to put 100,000 people in a building, I forgot how much the Dallas 100,000 people in a building. Yeah, if I'm Vince, right, and I'm running this major company, you want the biggest matches you can get, whether they're gonna be good or not. You want the biggest people, like the biggest matches on paper that are gonna draw. That's just what it comes down to. And Jonathan can say Ronda's a joke. He said Ronda's a joke. No mic skills. Look very amateur in the ring.
She's very awful.
Being trained by Ember Moon on her time off would have looked better. Let's keep in mind, Ronda just had a baby 4 months ago. Okay,
right.
So that it's impressive that she was even able to do what she was able to do on Saturday. I'm gonna give her that. So I hear what everybody's saying, and yes, maybe there are more people. There's people that's more deserving, I should say, that worked all year round to get to this moment. But it's a business. It's not about this person deserves this and this person deserves that. It's a business.
Right.
At the end of the day, Ronda is money, whether people want to believe it or not. It's been proven. And that is literally the biggest match that they can do is Ronda versus either Becky or Ronda versus Charlotte, which it looks like, and just
they're
from
leaning
what it
towards
seems,
Charlotte.
They're leaning towards Charlotte, which
Right.
means we can talk about this. Bianca didn't win the Royal Rumble. I think that the plan, I've been saying this for months, I think the plan is Bianca versus Becky Lynch. However we get there, it's Bianca versus Becky Lynch. I think that's what the buildup is.
Right.
I'll let you guys address that, but I just wanted to, because I've seen these comments, online and from other people.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like Ronda isn't talented. I don't feel like Ronda isn't, actually, I feel like, I know Jonathan believes different, but I think Ronda actually has good mic skills because the back and forth that she had with Becky leading up to WrestleMania, that was like amazing. That was great. And maybe she had Becky to lean on, but I mean, like, I really kind of feel like it was more so Ronda Rousey was just comfortable in, what she was doing. However, the thing is like for somebody who doesn't like, we all recognize that she doesn't respect the fans of the WWE, and I feel,
because they don't respect her.
I mean,
if we're being honest, I hate to, I just want to say this. If you remember what happened, where the switch happened, it happened in LA when they booed her in her hometown, and she never got over that. When she took a beating of a lifetime, like I'm talking about legit, like on a shoot, she let Charlotte beat her like from pillar to post out there.
Right.
And they were chanting, "You deserve it," and they was booing her and the nah, hey, goodbye, and all of that. And she had this moment when she looked out to the crowd, and I'll never forget this because I said it to V, and I think I said it to a couple other people. I said it to my father that I was watching the show with. Like I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if Ronda just said, "I'm done with this," because she's not used to that,
Right.
And for one, and especially after she just went out there and let Charlotte, and I'm saying let Charlotte beat her badly out there. And they booed her in her hometown. She even cut a promo.
That was on Survivor Series, right?
It was at Survivor Series, yep.
Yeah,
Survivor Series in Los Angeles. And she was like, I work hard, and you guys, what do you guys do? You booed me in my hometown. And I think that was a shoot. I think she honestly felt that way. And it was that moment where she was just like, all right, screw the fans. You guys are gonna boo me? Watch this. Now I'm gonna beat a Ronda Rousey that all of y'all hate. That's the Ronda Rousey I'm gonna beat now. Because that's But sorry, I just wanted to address that, Ray. Sorry.
Yeah, I get it, but it's just like, well, how many wrestlers go through that? I mean, it's kind of like, well, sis, you got to research what you getting into. You know what I'm saying? you got to research what you. I mean, the top guy that in the company was like getting booed for like 3 years before people actually started cheering for him.
It's true. True. I would venture to say 5 years before they come.
Yeah, for quite a long time.
Yeah. But it took Roman. We'll get to Roman. Well, we already talked about Roman, but yeah, we get it. Like I said, it is what it is with Ronda. Like, I get why they did it, and unfortunately, if anybody was as over as she is in terms of like name notoriety, then maybe they would be headlining WrestleMania this year. Becky is, Charlotte looks like she's going to be, and it looks like Bianca is going to as well. So everybody that's upset that Bianca didn't win, let's just relax for a little bit. Maybe she will still be in the match.
Right.
I mean,
it looks like B has something to say here.
I mean, it's not even the fact that Bianca lost. That I don't have an issue with. The issue is with that
I kind of did a little bit.
Like, the issue is Ronda won. That's the issue.
Yeah, I mean,
it literally could have been anybody else. Even if Lita would have won, I was like, okay.
But then you would have been okay. But they would have been complaining that a part-timer just won the Royal Rumble.
Well,
there's no
somebody coming back after 2 years, coming back and winning the Royal Rumble. You see that?
I see what you. I see a point.
I mean, granted, she just had a baby. I think she should go back and take care of the baby. And
no, I don't think that's. I don't think that's fair.
I think no. Honestly, truthfully, it didn't look like she was ready to come back. Not yet. So I think they had her come back too early. I mean, if she was going to come back, even though I was going to be irritated for the fact that that transphobe was going to be back anyway, I think she came back too early. If she was going to come back, she came back too early.
Okay, that's fair. The same thing people were saying about Becky Lynch. But speaking of Becky Lynch,
I also thought she came back too early.
And it's funny that we was having that conversation about Becky Lynch because I kept saying, V, I think she's ready. No, I don't know. I'm like, V, she's ready. You know what I'm saying? But she was ready. Becky was ready since like June, like maybe the end of May, June.
Yeah, I think it was like right after WrestleMania.
She was ready, but they kept off. And mind you, she had just had the baby, December? Late December?
Right.
And Becky was ready to go by like May. So I hear your point about maybe Ronda came back too early, but she already has said she knew when she got her due date that she was going to try to make it back for the Royal Rumble. Like, that's what she said she wanted to do. Her goal was always to come back to WWE, but it had to be right. And she felt like this is the right time. And, she did. Like I said, I'm going to give her credit. She got herself in an amazing shape.
Yeah.
To be back in 4 months, less than 4 months.
Yeah.
So that's amazing.
Women's bodies are magic. People who can bear children, their bodies are magic.
Yeah. A part-timer did win the Rumble. So a part-timer did win the Rumble. So
I'm gonna keep pointing that.
No, we hear you. I hear you loud and clear. I hear you. Okay, well, yeah, part-time. We'll see if she is working part-time. But yeah, let's go to Becky Lynch since we've been talking a lot about Ronda Rousey. Because she being Ronda, pronouns pal, did say that we will get her answer.
Don't let Ronda hear that.
Oh, man.
Yo, V is lit.
Yeah, I know. And this is just me. But all right, so
I love it, bro. I love it. Don't change.
Same. Right. So we had Becky versus Piper Niven because I refuse to call it the other name unless it's an accident.
Yeah.
I find myself accidentally saying it because I hear it over and over, but it's like it's not her name. Becky defeats Piper. It was an alright match. It wasn't bad. It was just a filler match.
I felt bad. Because around that time, it kind of felt like nobody was paying attention to the match, and that's only because, according to people that were there, the actual WrestleMania sign was on fire.
Yeah, on fire. Well,
So,
Becky said that she's straight fire, so that's why she said
which
she
was good. I will give Becky that. She
Yeah.
knows how to she knows how to work.
Yeah.
But the match wasn't bad.
It was
I didn't
alright.
hate the match.
It was okay. Yeah, it was
It
a
was a
nice.
decent match. It's just that shit was on fire.
Right. I'm just gonna say.
I mean, I feel like it was a nice championship filler match.
Yeah.
And I think that's all it is. But it was pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, besides the sign being on fire, like they had the worst spot on the card, and
They
that's
did.
another reason why it's like it was.
did.
They had to
That's
go
an
on after the
awful
Royal
one.
Rumble. Like
Right.
I'm sorry.
I said after that awful Rumble.
I didn't think it was bad. But
Yeah, it
let's.
wasn't.
I don't think the women's rumble was bad. I think the men's rumble was
Oh,
fine.
we'll get there.
But we'll get there.
Yeah.
But okay, so Becky Lynch still your women's champion. Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar for the WWE championship. Ray, please start us off. What do you think?
Please.
I think it wasn't the best match, but I guess I at the end of the day, I'm just happy that Bobby got the belt back. But I mean, I can't say anything else about that match. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad, but it was just a match, another filler match.
Okay, I'm going to accept. I thought it was actually good. I thought it was actually really good for a Brock Lesnar Bobby Lashley match, and I'm not
two big guys. Yeah,
yeah. I'm not saying that to be like offensive to them or disparaging. I'm just saying that like for the type of style that Brock likes to work and the style that Bobby works, I thought it was a really good match. Great storytelling. Jonathan said this was his match of the night. Yeah, John, I like Rollins and Reigns just a little bit more, but I like this match too. That's why I was saying that I didn't hate the Royal Rumble up until the last match, but we'll get there. Yeah. So Bobby Lashley actually defeats Brock Lesnar after Paul Heyman's double cross. Okay, yes. Roman Reigns, the big dog. Okay, the Universal Champion, ahead of the table. Okay, our tribal chief comes out there and he gives Brock Lesnar a spear after the ref bump. And Heyman passes Roman the championship, and Roman nails Brock Lesnar with the WWE championship. I almost forgot it was the Universal WWE. It's confusing sometimes with the WWE championship. Bobby Lashley pins Brock Lesnar. Bobby Lashley is the new WWE champion. I didn't care how we got there. I'm just happy that Bobby's champion again. I'm like, oh, it doesn't matter. They're like, yeah, but there was shenanigans. So, did you guys ever watch the Attitude Era? There was shenanigans every match. Right. So I don't care how we got there. The point is we got Bobby Lashley as WWE champion again. B?
So I didn't know what to expect, honestly, how the actual physical match would go.
Yeah.
I did not expect it to be shenanigans. But at the same time, I guess the WrestleMania match, and I guess we're going to get there, is going to be Roman versus the Royal Rumble winner. And I was shocked that Heyman crossed Brock again and went back to Roman. I was like, oh, so you just fast. Girl. Like,
oh my gosh.
Fast and loose.
Yeah. Well, Heyman's always been a loose one.
Yeah. No, but that I didn't see that. I will say I legit didn't see that coming. I thought that after Heyman screwed Roman, I thought that was it going back to Brock. I honestly thought that was it for now. I didn't think it was going to happen so soon, and it happened. And I'm glad Bobby's champion, but poor Big E.
We'll get there.
Him losing the fucking title, but sure.
I'll tell you during I'll tell you once we get to the Rumble what was the point of it.
To me, I kind of feel as though I expected the cross at the Royal Rumble when Paul Heyman handing the belt to Roman Reigns. I expected that.
The championship.
And I actually, yeah.
Championship.
I expected Paul Heyman to turn. I expected Roman Reigns to interfere.
Yeah.
And I actually expect more crosses before. Well, not even before. I expect another cross at WrestleMania.
Like Killer Cross?
Tomato.
You don't want to see Killer Cross back?
I'd rather see crisscross.
Sheesh.
Chris Cross will make it. All right. So you see another double. You see another cross coming.
Yes.
Okay. Really? That might be overkill.
The only reason why I see another cross is because I feel like it's kind of one of those things where like Brock whispers into I kind of feel like where it's like Brock, whispers into Paul Heyman's ear to play Roman, and then that's how he's going to play Roman. Like he's going to pretend Paul Heyman's going to pretend to have an alliance with Roman Reigns just to satisfy Brock in getting the Universal title.
Wow. You know what?
Oh, you know what?
That's not a bad idea.
That's not a bad idea.
Wow.
Turnabout is fair play.
Holy shit. Yo, I never even thought about wow. That was good. Okay.
Yeah, I never really thought of it like that.
Yeah. I mean, that's just my prediction for Mania, but
I'm actually intrigued by that now. Let's see if that actually happens. I'm
Right.
really intrigued by that.
Fox is gonna want that money, and to have the transphobe and Brock Lesnar on the same show. Yeah. I mean, it's Fox.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's not say that too loudly. I have to go to Fox set tomorrow.
Oh man! Wow. Oh boy.
So the comments only reflect King B alone.
Really? I'm gonna have to start putting a disclaimer up before the show starts.
we can do it. Like, all it's heard is
right
really
across the screen.
only just the people of Go for the Pin, maybe King B.
Okay, guys. Let's keep going. We had a mixed tag team match. Edge and Beth Phoenix versus The Miz and Maurice. The Grit couple versus the It couple. V, why don't you start us off?
This wasn't bad.
Surprising.
Maurice remembered she can wrestle.
Yeah.
She remembered she was black belt.
Yeah.
And I was happy. That Hurricane Rana to Edge was really cool. I'm sitting like, what the fuck was this?
During the Divas era, right?
Well, they couldn't do it probably.
Yeah.
But it was just like, okay, thank you. Maurice is back wrestling, even if it was for one night, whatever. It doesn't matter. If she does this and then goes back to doing what she usually do, which is winning, like in life in general.
Yeah.
That's fine. I think this was a one-off match to show that. Let's be real. Let me just say something real quick. The Divas, the women of the Divas era, showed the fuck out that night.
Yeah.
They did. They did. I will say they did. But
they showed that it wasn't just eye candy all of those years.
Right. Yeah, it showed that. Oh, except for that Hurricane Kelly did. But that's the end of that. But it was. They showed that it wasn't for the fact that the problem was them. It showed that the problem was the time and the opportunity that they was not able to do in order to perform the way they wanted to. So they all showed out. All of the women of the Divas era showed out. And I didn't hate this match. I think that they went the right way with the winners. Mm-hmm. It wasn't bad.
Right.
It was a good match, more so of a knee slapping match for me. But I do concur with Maurice. Really putting in a lot of work. And I feel like if it was WrestleMania, I think they would have showed off a little bit more.
Jonathan says I can admit when I'm wrong. So did you pick the It couple to win? I think I did too. I think I was wrong about that. Yeah, I think I was wrong about that too.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good match. I thought it
I
was a
think
good
I was
match.
wrong about that too.
Yeah, I think I picked Maurice and Miz to win. I definitely did because I thought that they would give Miz his win back after losing to Edge at the last pay-per-view.
I think we were all wrong because I said that Maurice and Miz were gonna win,
Yeah,
and then that'll be a rematch at WrestleMania. Yeah, I do remember saying that. So yeah,
it happens.
You were wrong. Yeah.
It happens. It happens. But I like that. That means it wasn't predictable. It's like, all right, you know.
Mhm.
So, good match. I have nothing else to say. Also the double Grand Slam was cool.
Right.
Also, that
Yeah,
was cool. Yeah. Okay. Let's get to the men's Royal Rumble. Okay. Who wants to start us off?
Mike.
All right. Well, okay. It had promise. Like it started
Did
with AJ. Yes, because it started with AJ and Shinsuke Nakamura as number 1 and 2. And I was like, okay, I'm interested at least.
Right. I guess so. Yeah.
And then Austin Theory came out.
I mean, with them starting off with AJ and Nakamura, I felt like, all right, this is a good way to start the Rumble.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I thought the Rumble was definitely a good way to start the Rumble. You got AJ and Nakamura, and I think I had said that going into it last week. AJ was the only one that had any like real momentum in the men's division, really. You know, because AJ's been winning lately. You know, like if you really look at it. But I guess Austin also, but it's like, but you knew Austin Theory wasn't going to win the Rumble. They had a nice moment with AJ and Rude. TNA chant actually broke out.
Yeah, it was a TNA chant.
Which was surprising. And actually, I was kind of happy to hear that. I was like, okay, you guys remember what they did down there. Hold up. With the first pick in the 2023 that we draft, the Elite selects Shane McMahon. We'll get there. What a goof. Yeah, we'll get there. Okay. A couple of people I don't care about. Montez Ford was out there also, and Priest and Sami Zayn and Johnny Knoxville, of course. Knoxville threw a really good solid forearm.
He did.
I just want to say that.
He did.
And for Celebrity, took a good bump. For Celebrity. I'll give him that. You know. And he didn't overstay his welcome. I will say, like Johnny Knoxville, you can have some comedy in these type of matches. Like everything doesn't have to be so serious. You know, so I don't mind the stuff with Johnny Knoxville and Sami Zayn. And also they've been building it up on SmackDown for the last couple of weeks. So I don't mind. I popped for the TNA chant, Rude acknowledged it. Yeah, he better. Because that's the last time he was ever relevant. So all right, maybe not last time. He's relevant in NXT. I'll give him that.
Bye, everybody.
He doesn't get much of a pop lately. All right. So anyway, Angelo Dawkins, Omos, was eliminated by the whole roster, kind of. Chad and Dominic Mysterio. Okay, so for the last couple of weeks, they've been teasing this whole thing with the Mysterios and the Street Profits and Rude and Ziggler. Nothing. So you wasted all of that time to build up to. You didn't even get Dominic or Rey eliminating each other from the Rumble. Like Dominic was eliminated by Corbin.
Or the was cocaine residue on the ground.
Oh man. And Dolph Ziggler was eliminated by Rey and Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny, another great showing from Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny might be my favorite celebrity. I just want to have
I want to have the Bad Bunny conversation.
The bunny hop conversation.
The bunny hop. the bunny destroyer. Yeah.
He's what I respect about Bad Bunny, and I said this when he showed out at WrestleMania. What I respect about Bad Bunny is that he actually takes the craft seriously.
He does.
And he actually put into work. Jesus, V. Put in the work to actually do something in the Rumble. Like Johnny Knoxville do a nice stiff forearm. Bad Bunny shows up because he's he's a legitimate wrestling fan, and people respect him because of that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So if Bad Bunny just randomly said "fuck music, I want to wrestle,"
Yeah.
I'd be okay with that. I would.
Mhm.
So
Jonathan
he was
says
fun.
Bad Bunny could have a career after music. He would make a good character, babyface. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun, like you said, V, and yes, I definitely agree. Bad Bunny definitely is talented. I mean,
Yeah, like after while he was wrestling, I seriously thought to myself, this is a dude who could definitely go into the celebrity wing at the Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah,
without question.
Oh yeah. Okay, Riddle. And this goes back to Dee's comment earlier, my boy Dejan, who I don't think is here anymore, but I will answer his question because he's probably gonna hear this back. He asked if we had heard the news that Riddle was actually originally scheduled to win the Royal Rumble. He was actually eliminated. He being Riddle was eliminated by the eventual winner Brock Lesnar. What are you guys' thoughts on Riddle? What if he would have won this match?
That would have been WWE actually making another superstar, in my opinion. And I think, and we were talking earlier about where, like, WWE can't make any more superstars. And it's like, I feel I totally disagree because they made Hulk Hogan, they made Dwayne, they made Austin, and I mean, I feel like also if Brett and Shawn wanted to as well, they could have been, huge actors or, had a life outside of, WWE, rubbing elbows and everything else like as well. I mean, look at John Cena. He's like basically the star of HBO Max,
Peacemaker, yeah.
Right. So it's like,
oh, you know who that is.
I watched it. Yeah, I actually watched it. I watched it.
So I feel like,
with
Riddle, like, if he would have won the Royal Rumble, it's like that would have been, in my opinion, the beginning of WWE making Riddle a star. And he definitely has it. Like with him working with Randy Orton throughout all of 2021, I feel Riddle has showed that even in a like goofy persona, he could be, a top talent. And it's like, I feel like if he would have won the Rumble, like I think that would have been WWE making a new star. And I think they just have to see Riddle's demographic, who he like really like his core audience, and then just beat that audience until like they buy into wrestling.
So I want to say that I wasn't saying that WWE has not made stars. I'm saying, but everybody that you named was in the past. Like John Cena's been a star now. Like they made John Cena, but John Cena happened almost 20 years ago. Like who besides Roman Reigns, right? You can argue Roman Reigns and Becky Lynch. I'll give you that, right? To a certain degree. Because I still don't think that Becky's not as over as Cena was.
Right.
And I'm gonna be, and I'm just like being frank. I don't think Roman's as over as Cena was. Like, is he up there? Definitely. But I don't think he's more or even as over as some of his predecessors. So I think that yes, they are able to make stars, but I don't think they are able to, and nor do I think they want to make anybody that's going to wind up being bigger than WWE. And I think that's what's really holding them back. They're gonna let you get to a certain level, Biggie, Kofi, and certain other people. I even think Bianca and Sasha to a certain degree. I think they're gonna let you get to a certain level, and as soon as you get to that level where it looks like you might start going a little bit further than they want you to, they pull you back down.
I don't know. I think if only person that I disagree with is Sasha.
I have something to say about Sasha, but go ahead.
Because she is already getting a Disney bag.
I was gonna say
easily, and I think both Sasha and Bianca has that mainstream appeal. Let's be real.
But if you don't have the machine behind you, you're only gonna go but so far.
I think so.
I do. I
could agree with the Sasha aspect, But we also have to remember that Sasha has relatives in the entertainment industry as well, like Brandy, Ray J, Snoop Dogg. You know,
Yep.
Is related to Brandy and Ray J?
Yeah, cousins.
Oh, I thought it was just Snoop.
No. Snoop is actually related to Brandy and Ray J. They just don't associate with each other.
Yeah, it's true. No, yeah, it's accurate. I wanted to make a point about Sasha. Sasha, if she does get to that level, it won't be because of WWE. And I think that she can. And I already see like it starting to happen. I think we're gonna lose Sasha.
Yeah,
I think we're gonna lose Sasha.
Yeah.
Like it's funny because I was just talking to somebody else about this before, and JR actually mentioned something about The Rock on his podcast. Like I think a few weeks ago, I think it was Conrad that asked him, "Did you guys realize that you guys were losing The Rock, back in like 01 and 02?" And he's like, "Oh yeah. Like you could see that, he was starting to get more and more movie roles and more popular, and we knew it was only a matter of time, but you want to utilize him to the best of his abilities while he's still here." And then, because he said it makes him feel good to know that somebody that he hired goes on to Hollywood and to other places and makes a name for themselves there. He's like, you shouldn't want to hold anybody back. But I think with WWE, that is what's happening. I think that is exactly, if they could hold on to Sasha, hold on to Bianca, hold on to Roman Reigns for as long as they can and not allow them to really go and do too much outside of WWE, they would. Right. But it does get to the point where they're going to make their own decisions. And I often wonder what would have happened if Sasha actually was granted her release a few years ago. But that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother time. But I don't know how exactly we got on there, but yeah, it was a good conversation. Let's get back to the room and finish this up here. I know how we got on it because you said that Riddle could be that next star. Right. And yes, I think that he could be a star in the wrestling world. I know they know him outside in the MMA world as well, but I think Riddle does have the potential to be a top star in wrestling. But I don't know if WWE is ready to take the chance on him right now, especially with something as big as WrestleMania. Jonathan asked in his comments who changed the plans. One person, Vince McMahon. Like, I don't even have to wonder who. Like, Vince changed it. Like, yeah. So, okay, Big E was eliminated by Riddle and Randy Orton. Segue here. Big E. The other thing I want to say about Big E. Remember, I said I'd get back to Big E. I hate to say it, but like, they had to get that title off of him. They did. They had to get the title off him. He just was not, and it's not his fault necessarily. Right. I'm not going to say it's his fault. I'm not blaming Big E for it. I just think his title run was, what am I wrong about? Jonathan, what am I wrong about?
Big E's title reign was very lackluster.
It was, but I'm not going to solely blame him. Yeah. I think it had to do a lot with the booking and the writing of his character and everything of that nature, and also the fact that it kind of was like, I heard the comparison of you had a Mick Carter as your world champion. That's kind of what like was the gist of it, and I'm not gonna call Big E a Mick Carter. I'm not saying that he is. I feel like he was booked as one. Right. And a lot of people...
He was definitely booked as one.
That's what I'm saying. I think he was booked as one, but a lot of people have been like booked as mid-carders, and then they put the world title on them. And of course they don't succeed as much as they could because you booked them for 8 years as a mid-carder. Right. So now when you put the world title on them, the perception is that they're a mid-card talent holding the world title. And
good. Because like I often try and sit there and compare like Big E and Kofi's reigns. I mean, you can't really compare them, but you like if you just want to keep it like black champion comparison. I feel as though like Kofi was booked as a main eventer up until they had him go up against Brock, because like he had that underdog Cinderella story all the way straight through up until he met Brock. Like every time they gave Kofi a new opponent. I'm like, okay, this is the guy who's definitely gonna take the strap off of Kofi.
Yeah.
And then like Kofi pulls out so much, shit during the match that it's like, wow, you really beat this dude, and you beat him like with some phenomenal shit.
Yeah.
So I think, I think it's kind of like, it definitely comes down to the way, they booked him. But it's like, like you can often look at Kofi as a mid-carder still, versus Big E, who's still like, has that mid-carder persona. And it's like, I don't think it's really so much the fact that they're mid-carders. I think it's just the, it just.
Way to book.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I just to like, and I know V probably wants to comment on this, but just to like add to what you said, Ray, like I feel like I know for a fact I was in the building. I was in the building when he was world champion, when he was WWE champion for Raw. You can hear a pin drop when his music hit. Y'all want to go big? Just say that. Nobody, like, it wasn't even like they were booing him. You heard a little like respectful cheer, like a little like respectful clap, like, hey, Big E, okay. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, and I felt so bad for him because it's like, man, he didn't do anything wrong. It just felt so bland. Like it didn't, I don't know. It really just felt like, okay, he's just holding the title until they know what they want to do with the WWE Championship. And at that point, they really didn't know what they wanted to do with it. So they're like, all right, we'll put it on Big E. And once Brock is ready to come back or whatever, we'll have Brock take it.
Damn.
V, give me 1 second here. Wrestling Observer News reported that changes were being made to the Rumble by Shane McMahon, even as much as 20 to 30. Well, first of all, you said Wrestling Observer, so it comes from Dave. So I'm like, but I hear you. I don't know how much I buy that they let Shane book and write this whole Rumble.
I wanted to say the same exact thing.
I don't know how much I buy that.
I want to say the same exact thing.
I don't know about that. I think, and as far as his release is concerned, like
I feel he's taking the fall for the whole Royal Rumble.
Yep.
You just read my mind.
Right there.
I think he's taking the fall for the whole thing. Yep. Yeah, I
already know. Yep.
That's
it.
I agree. But yes, V, I know you have a lot to say about Big E's title run here and everything that you said. So
Big E's title run really annoyed me strictly for the fact that it felt like a filler role, and they wasn't doing anything with it. And by you not doing anything with it, you can't expect people to care if the people who are writing it don't care also. Because let's be real, Big E did his goddamn best to show out as champion. But nothing came of it because that they didn't care. Like nobody in the back cared. This is like, oh, just go ahead, whatever. I think honestly, they had the Big E Bobby story right there.
Right.
I knew he wasn't going to be champion long. I'm realistic.
Right.
I knew Big E wasn't going to be champion long, but it was the fact that nothing was done. And just comparing it with Kofi's reign, Kofi had that big Cinderella story, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
And, even though he lost in 10 seconds.
8 seconds.
Sure, who's counting? Anyway, he lost in a very fast fashion. And and it's like, well, damn, now you feel sorry for the guy. And then, like, Biggie comes, wins the championship via Money in the Bank. Via Money in the Bank, and that's it. And then nothing comes of it.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like, Biggie has talent with charisma. It's not like he's not bad on the mic, not bad in the ring.
Right.
He has the ability to be a star. Why isn't the needle moving?
Because they had nothing for him. It was filler. But yeah, that's my thing. And I think it might have been Jonathan that said back to the New Day for Big E. It was either Jonathan or Dejan. I can't remember. But yeah. Go ahead.
Can I ask you fellas a question? Like, because I talk to certain people about this all the time. Do you feel like Big E's title reign, or Big E winning the world title, world championship rather, was was to combat the fact that CM Punk arrived in AEW.
Interesting. I don't know. I don't know if the two correlate, but possibly.
If they wanted to combat CM Punk coming back to AEW, I don't think they would have put the title on Becky.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if because it happened around the same time, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's not like a week apart.
So maybe they did do okay. Maybe that's not so crazy to think that they needed something big because CM Punk is now back in wrestling, and that's going to be the biggest story of the week, of the month, really. You know.
Right.
So yeah, I could see maybe there was some thinking behind that. I don't know if it was the only reason, but
Right.
I could definitely see it being a factor. And Jonathan asked, so you think Shane was the guinea pig? Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they needed somebody to blame for that horrendous Royal Rumble with no surprises.
It was awful.
And no,
it was a surprise match at Moss. You know, it was surprising, and
I mean, I think it was. I think. I mean, I feel like Shane McMahon in himself being in a Royal Rumble was surprising.
It really wasn't, honestly, to me. It was just like another McMahon putting themselves over really big, and
I think Shane was just doing what he was told. But
I agree. Mm-hmm.
But I don't know,
because I mean, who else do they have? Like, I was from the slot number 3 to slot 23. I was really bored with the entrances.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's true. I popped for Bad Bunny.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's bad.
I popped for McIntyre because I didn't think he was actually going to be in the Rumble. Right. I thought it was a chance. But once McIntyre came out, I was like, all right, finally somebody that feels like a star.
Mm-hmm.
Like, honestly, like, and because I'm just looking through, you said from 3 up until when Knoxville came out at 9, I was bored. And then, I was entertained by the Knoxville and Sami Zayn stuff. Mm-hmm. And then... No, Bear. Jonathan said I didn't get Bear. Yeah, Bear didn't come. He's still yet to come.
This is week 3 of the Veer ejaculation joke.
How
long has it been? It's been like 4 months, right?
Oh, he's been coming for a long. Yeah, he's supposed to be coming for a long time, and he's yeah. Man, he needs to get that checked out. All right, so
God,
that might be some deeper problems there. But anyway, yeah. So once Riddle and then McIntyre came out, and then Owens came out after. So that'll be the running joke for the rest of our lives. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. So Kevin Owens, Rey Mysterio, Kofi Kingston. Those felt like okay. At least we're getting some stars in this match. Finally,
that Kofi Kingston spot.
So he botched it, right? And they went with it.
Yeah,
that's what happened. I mean,
I think that was a good thing though. The fact that they actually, because it's showing like, yo, this is the end of that. Like, please, let's not do that in the Royal Rumble. Like, let that be the end.
Yeah.
Let's not do that in the Royal Rumble ever again.
It did look like it hurt. He hit his ribs hard.
Yeah. That botch was cringe. Yeah, I mean, it was cringe just because it looked like painful or whatever. But because you know what's crazy? If he would have pulled it off, that would have been epic. But I do like that. You know what? Because they said that there was a little bit of panic when his feet hit, and for like 10 seconds, Vince and Bruce and all of them was like, all right, what do we do? And apparently Vince said, show a replay. And if his feet really touched, then he's eliminated. Treat it like a shoot. And that's what they did. They treated it like a shoot. He's out. I didn't hate it. I mean, I didn't even mind it. It was just like, okay, he tried something. It didn't work.
Right.
It's all good. It's all good. Yeah. Let me see if there's anything other. Okay, Brock Lesnar F5, Bad Bunny eliminated him. Brock Lesnar eliminated Shane McMahon. Brock Lesnar eliminated the hometown boy, Randy Orton, who was over huge in St. Louis. And
I was disappointed in that too.
Yeah. And I think that was it. Yeah, Brock eliminated Randy Orton for the finish, right? I believe so.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was the Royal Rumble 2022.
Awful. So bad.
This match was not good. This Rumble was not good.
No, I was.
The show. Go ahead.
Damon Wayans and David Allegreer would said, hated it. And it was. I think I will say that the worst Rumble was the men's.
Yeah. Without. Yeah. No, the men's Rumble.
I mean, granted. Considered who won, I'm like as a whole entire. Match, the men's Rumble was awful.
Yeah, like I don't even care that Brock won. It's like whatever. Like I don't hate that. Like it is what like Brock.
I mean, we talked about it. We talked about if Brock loses, Brock will find a way to be in the match.
Yep.
Right.
Now, granted, I did say that Veer was finally going to come.
I thought that was a great idea.
Number 30
for Veer to come and then Brock to cut him off.
Right.
Yeah, I thought that was just stop him from coming. I thought that would have been great. I thought that would have been great. Thought that would have been an awesome spot there.
I feel as though I'm sorry guys, but I mean I really just was disappointed by the whole Royal Rumble.
The whole pay-per-view?
The whole pay-per-view.
Yeah, the whole pay-per-view.
Yes. I won't say every match was disappointing because like that would contradict me, right? But when you have only, I was satisfied with the women's Royal Rumble. I like that. The opening match was great to me.
Yeah.
The women's Royal Rumble was like, okay. And then Bobby, I was satisfied with Bobby winning, but not the match. And the It couple versus the Grit couple was good.
Yeah. And
then like the Royal Rumble match, the men's Royal Rumble match was just awful to me. So it's kind of like
the drizzling shits.
Drizzling shits.
Yeah.
Awful.
Okay, so what do you give the show then?
Royal Rumble? Tap out.
You tapped out.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. V.
I'm trying to take the Seth and Roman match into consideration.
Okay. While you do that, was this the worst Royal Rumble of all time? Did it surpass the Cena, Batista, McMahon quad debacle?
Yes. For me, yes.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah.
Because that Royal Rumble wasn't that bad. It wasn't bad. It was just the finish got botched.
Mm-hmm.
And then Vince tore both his quad. Oh, God.
My man came out there throwing his jacket to the ground.
And there they went. Jesus. You know what?
Yeah.
Sorry, Roman and Seth. I also tapped
out. Wow. John, what do you think? And while you get that answer, I'm gonna give it a 2 count. I didn't hate the show. I know that might be unpopular, but I didn't hate the show. I just hated the main event. But I didn't hate this show at all. How you said both quads? I don't know. All right, nope, not gonna finish that one. Yeah, so what do you think about the Royal Rumble, John? Waiting for your count here.
And just to let you know, John, like Vince McMahon tore his quads in two different parts of the arena. But the first quad went when he split in the ring. Yeah. The second quad went when he was trying to get backstage.
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
oh man,
it's gone. Backlog. Yeah. All
right. Okay. Well, Jonathan's getting that together. You guys, you want to cover anything else?
I'm gonna be real. I tapped out of wrestling this week. Raw was awful.
Okay. Raw was definitely awful.
NXT was lackluster. I want to say shout out to NXT for firing Hit Row and put the white woman as the rapper.
Yo,
somebody else told me that.
It's the first day of Black History Month. you know what? Jesus giveth, and he just take it the fuck away.
Jonathan said double the
And
smoke.
not disqualification.
Double the
I tapped out of AEW. Wrestling this week was a flop. All of it's bad. All of it. And no, I did not watch the CM Punk MJF match. I'm sorry, I tapped out of AEW before that.
You need to go back and watch it.
I'm not watching that show. I'll see if I can find that match on YouTube, but I'm not watching that show. I'm not sitting through that.
What?
I thought AEW was pretty good.
Nope. Tap the fuck out.
I thought AEW was pretty good. I like the Moxley and Bryan stuff. I'm interested. I'm
Yes.
interested to see what they're gonna do.
Yes.
Are they really gonna be a tag team?
Nah, doubt it.
I think it's just to build up a feud between these two.
Now, question for you guys: do you think? I know Brian mentioned a few times in press interviews that he wanted to create a stable. Do you think Jade Cargill is gonna actually join him in the stable?
Oh, because he's training her, right?
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. It can't hurt Jade to train with one of the best wrestlers ever. So,
right.
And she's putting in the effort to get better.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I could see it. I'm all for it. I like what Brian was saying. Like, what if we got guys like Daniel Garcia and take them out of 2.0, or even it was like we got a even though I like Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, like he's like we got a dinosaur as the world champion, a dinosaur was the tag team champion. We have a millennial cowboy as the world champion. Like, are you kidding me? So I like
that promo. Yeah, that promo was classic. Yeah. But did you notice when he was walking up the ramp, he couldn't decide whether he couldn't decide. Yeah, I love that. He couldn't decide whether he was going to go through the face or the heel tunnel.
Yeah, I love that. And then they shot away, so we couldn't see which side he went down.
There's a face and heel tunnel. I've never noticed that.
Mm-hmm. Really?
There's a face and heel tunnel on.
Wait, no, Vic, you really never noticed that? I feel like we talked about that on here before.
Did we?
Yeah, the left side on television is the heel side. The right side is the babyface side.
Mm-hmm.
Was I inspired? I
don't know, but yeah, bro, definitely have a babyface.
Because even through the Page and Danielson feud, like
he was coming out of babyface.
He was still coming out the babyface.
But I thought that was brilliant because Brian in his sick mind thinks he's still a babyface. I think that's awesome.
Right.
Wow.
I was today years old when I realized that.
That's why I was like, really? Wait, really? You didn't know?
I never paid attention. I was like, why the fuck y'all coming on two different sides of the damn stage?
Yeah, it's a babyface side and a heel side. Yeah.
Oh, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's kind of weird, but then it's like it's a good idea at the same time. It's like the wrestler decides whether he's a face or a heel.
Yeah.
But I think the acknowledgement of face and heels is kind of like, leave that to the other guys. Let me see what you guys got. Like.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind it. You know what I'm saying? It does it kind of informs the audience what you're trying to be, like what you're supposed to be. So like, and V, I know we definitely talked about it on the show because we taled about the times with Cody. Cody has definitely stayed there was times Cody used to tease, especially
Cody was teasing whether he was going to go through the heel or the face tunnel too.
He would look at the hillside and like, and it even I think off the Ash he did the same thing. He was about to walk up the hillside and then he went down the babyface side. So again, little subtle teases to him eventually turning heel or whatever. But yeah, it's definitely a heel and babyface side. Yeah, I would love to know which side he actually went down. But speaking of that, Brandy comes out the middle, right? As does Cody. Again, it's little V's rolling his eyes, but it's little things.
But I didn't even notice.
Yep, she came out through the middle. She came up through the stage, like through the middle of the stage, which is the same thing that Cody does. Because I'm not a babyface, but I'm not a heel, So, but Brandy's
you know what? I never realized that.
Yeah. Cody always comes up through the middle. Always.
Right.
Brandy will come out through the hillside. She's done it many times. She'll come out through the hillside. But Cody, if he's coming out, he'll come out through the middle, and then Brandy will come out through the hillside and meet him there. And Arn Anderson is coming out through the babyface side. It's all like, what are we doing here?
That's good. Creating confusion.
Yeah, because Well, people were confused at Brandy's promo this week, but I didn't. At least she wasn't trying to lay on that accent that everybody keeps trying to talk about. Like she was actually. It sounded like she was actually speaking like her this week, and I can give her credit for that. Like it sounded like her. I don't know where they're going with this Dan Lambert and Brandy stuff. I'm sure eventually it's going to lead to Cody taking on an American Top Team somehow, some way.
Right.
But it looks like they're setting up a match between Paige Van Fleet and Brandy. I almost forgot her name there. She did have a nice line though. She had a really cool line about Ethan. I don't know. Brandy did get eaten alive, but I kind of like the line that she said here. She's like, Ethan, I don't know what you're laughing about. Everybody knows the only reason we signed you is to get closer to Josh Alexander. I thought that was hilarious. I was like, wow.
That was murder.
Yeah, that page, Jonathan. That page. Yes, that was a great line.
Yeah.
That was a great line. I give her that. I was like, ooh. But the problem is a lot of people don't even watch Impact, so they didn't even get the reference. Like to the North, which the North was one of the best tag teams I think in Impact history, one of the best teams ever over there. And Josh is a great talent, so I get it. But yeah,
I skipped over that.
It was some good stuff in there, or some decent stuff. I'll say. I'm not gonna say good. It was some decent stuff.
Can I ask why did you skip over it, V?
I had zero interest in AEW.
Oh wow!
I really this week, I had zero interest. Absolutely not. Man. Sometimes I could sit through it and actually enjoy it. Other times I can be like, I can't do this. Yeah, just like I do. I'm very fair when it comes to watching wrestling. When there's shit that I just don't want to see, I will not watch it. I will refuse to watch it. So I wasn't feeling AEW.
How did you feel about MJF and Punk? And then we'll get ready to get out of here. But yeah. Right.
Did that close the show?
Yeah.
Okay, then I mixed it.
Yeah, close the show. Oh, Ruby Soho took the loss off, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that was disappointing too. I feel like Ruby Soho should have went over in that match. See, and this goes back to my Swell thing. It's like Ruby Soho, in my opinion, is getting treated just as badly in AEW as she was in WWE. And
I'm gonna disagree, but
the reason why I say that is because it's like, yeah, she wins a lot on like Dark, but to me it's like if you don't win on TV, it kind of to me it's kind of like, well, Dark doesn't really matter, I mean it matters to your win-loss record, of course, but I just feel like like, because it's hard for me to get into Dark on YouTube and stuff like that. Yeah. So like whatever I see on AEW TV is like what I pretty much know about you.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and to be fair, about Dark, like I don't, and some people like it, and this is where you can see some of the the talents that's out there and some of the indie wrestlers that's out there, which I'm happy for them. They're getting an opportunity. But the thing is about Dark, I don't want to sit there and watch 2 hours of enhancement talent matches. I'm sorry. Right. That mean nothing. Like it's or an hour of enhancement talent matches, basically a glorified Sunday Night Heat. Actually, less than Sunday Night Heat, because at least the Sunday Night Heat show was talent. It was on TV, and it was the talents that actually worked there. Right. Some of these talents that's on Elevation and Dark are indie wrestlers that don't even work there.
Right.
So I think it does nothing for the talents that do work there to get a bunch of wins on Dark and Elevation and are never seen on the actual show.
Right.
You know, my girl Kiera Hogan. You know I love Kiera Hogan.
Yes. Yeah, I feel
That's the
like
only Hogan we acknowledge
But
in this show.
of course, but her getting all of these wins on Dark and Elevation and never
and
seen on
not
TV.
being seen. Mm-hmm.
What good does it do her? And I can tell you that she's satisfied just because like she is getting that opportunity in AEW, but she's still doing her own thing. You know, that's why she's not that upset because she's still working the indies. You know,
Gotcha.
But any meat to the rumor, Ruby Soho is unhappy with AEW because she feels like she was only brought in to put over Britt and Jade. Yeah, I think it is. I haven't heard anything. You know,
I haven't personally heard that rumor.
I heard it.
It's not even a rumor. Like Britt did say on an interview on Inside the Ropes that she pushed hard. She pushed Tony Khan hard to bring in Ruby Soho. So like Britt did like go out there and say it. But I don't think like when she said it, Ruby wasn't known as signed yet.
Right. Okay.
Because it was like a few days before that interview was like a few days before what's the name of that pay-per-view they all debuted?
All Out?
All Out. It was a few days before All Out where Britt said that. So
okay. All right, yeah. So yeah, definitely true. It's not a rumor. It's definitely true that Ruby's probably unhappy at this point. Okay, last thing, yeah, Punk.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I diverted from Punk and MJF. I think as far as them wrestling each other was good.
Yeah,
I didn't like the whole MJF won and then they restarted the match. And then
MJF won.
And then MJF won. I think it kind of made me feel like, were you guys testing the crowd to see if they were gonna riot if CM Punk lost? Like,
well, I mean, did you see the guy that took a shot at MJF when Punk was holding him? It was like chop him.
Yeah,
and he actually chopped him.
Yeah.
Oh, I would have loved to be that guy. But anyway, because I wouldn't have took a chop. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Ooh.
Yeah, you know how I feel about that.
So just CM Punk got his first loss in AEW.
Yes, CM Punk did the job to MJF. First loss in AEW, and they actually so MJF had a out of character type of moment, but you couldn't really see, and they did it on purpose to make sure that you guys didn't really see on TV. Punk, as soon as he pinned Punk, you could see that he was talking to him, and it looked like he was like thanking him for the match, and it meant a lot to him. You could tell MJF like legitimately, it felt like it looked like it meant a lot to him. They shot the crowd. They shot away from what was going on in the ring.
When they shot back to them, you could see like MJF's arm up, but he was kind of like tucked between Punk's shoulder and his ear.
And you can see it was an embrace too. It was very light. He kind of like tapped him a little bit. It was very light, like a thank you, type of thing. So biggest win of MJF's career. He beat Punk. It wasn't clean. I'll let you go back and watch the match, but it wasn't clean.
Of course it wasn't.
MJF gets the win.
Yeah.
He's a heel, so it shouldn't be clean. And that was AEW. What did you think of the show as a whole? Because I can't even be tapped out, so I'm just gonna put that up there. What did you think about AEW, Ray?
I don't know. I guess I'm a AEW fanboy. You might as well say. So I'm gonna give it a 3 count.
Oh wow, it was a 3 count. Okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call you an AEW fanboy. You enjoyed the show. You enjoyed the show. I think I'm not gonna go 3 count. I'll probably go 2 count. I thought it was good. I didn't think it was great, but I thought it was good. I thought it was very enjoyable. And even the Brandy and Dan Lambert segment was like, okay, there was a couple of lines in there that I kind of dug. So Jonathan says 2 count. Yeah,
that's 2 count.
Okay. Well, guys, this has been fun. This has been interesting.
Thank you for inviting me on the show again.
Of course.
Welcome back anytime.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Definitely. And Jonathan, that goes for you too. Whenever you want to come back on, you're welcome to come back on as long as I can figure out how to work these graphics. You would think I know how to do this by now. But okay. So Ray, please tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me on all social media at Raida Raw. at Raida Raw, RAIDA RAW. And I enjoy the interesting content that I'm about to put out. So.
Okay, definitely,
Yeah.
and it's spelled on the screen there, so all your content is
Yes.
right there. Yeah, we're live, pal. We are live. Okay, V.
Yeah.
You're next.
So, okay, so you can find me on Instagram, Jesus, at KingV_the ruler, and on Twitter at _watchmythrone.
All right. The show's Twitter at Go.
Oh
for
shit!
the Pin
Hey,
Show.
yeah, Go for the Pin Show. That was my job. At Go for the Pin Show, and on Instagram, at Go for the Pin _show.
Okay, you can find me
Stay
on
tuned. We
everything.
got some new things coming.
Yeah. Everybody,
Yeah.
just stay tuned.
Yeah.
We got a lot of good things coming. We got a lot of good content coming.
Yes.
Also, before I get my plug, support. Hey, V, you're live too, pal.
Kicked your leg out of your leg.
Get your leg out of your leg.
Oh man.
Rest in peace, Owen
Rest in
Hart.
peace, Owen Hart. Yes, definitely. Before I promote myself, I'm gonna promote Jonathan, even though he's not here. Make sure y'all support John. JPS Music 15 on everything, on Twitter and on Instagram. On Instagram, also DJ Knuckles. Make sure y'all support that. I gotta look out for my DJ family out here. So definitely support him. And everything that he's doing.
I'm sorry, before you do that, one more person that we need to support. I know we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, but the Wrestling with Whiteness project that Miss J. Shell Nicole is bringing out. Her first interview launches actually tomorrow, and she is interviewing as she said, the next Knockouts champion, Tasha Steelz. Tasha Steelz will be her very first interview. I'm very excited and very proud of her, and I cannot wait to see who she brings out next. So if you see the show's page or myself retweeting it, please go ahead and support this young lady. The kids are all right. The kids are all right.
Shout outs to her and also shout out to Tasha. Will she get it done on February 19th? That remains to be seen. But okay. Well, thank you all for joining us tonight. Everybody have a good evening.
Wait, Mike, you forgot to tell the people where they can find you.
Where they can find you, yeah.
Oh yeah, me? They don't want to find me, but if they do, it's Mike_EQ on Instagram, and on Twitter it's DJ Mike EQ. Just Mike EQ. I'm everywhere. So, all right, guys. Thank you guys for joining us tonight.
Right,
everybody that participated. Ray, thanks again.
Thank you.
No doubt.
And we will see you guys next time on Go for the Pin. Good night, everybody.